Hi guys, I recently put out a video around the 80-20 rule and actually using that within software development. And one of the key comments that came out of the video was maybe describe what the value versus effort matrix is and how we potentially can use that when defining which features to focus on and maybe underpinning some of those 20% of those features that might actually deliver that 80% result. So if you haven't seen this before, this is just a bit of an intro as to what it is and how it can be used in the software development space. So for example, just say you've got a list of 20 or 30 features that you're considering for an MVP, and you want to refine that maybe back to 10 or 12, and you really want to get a grip on what's going to deliver the most value to your customers, to your end users, and what's going to pretty much take you the least amount of time. So we might find that sometimes we have to focus on those high value tasks that take the most amount of time, so the most complex ones, but we really want to get a grip on what are those easy, quick wins that we can use to generate quick ROI and get us into the marketplace with a great MVP. So first, what you would do is basically draw out a matrix like this. So you've got value versus effort. If you haven't seen it before, your highest value items are at the top, and then your highest effort items are towards the right. So here we would look at, just so you put up something that's high value, but going to take very little effort to deliver. Now that is what we call a quick win. So it's something you can deliver really, really quickly that's going to add value to your users. So this is one of the focus areas that you want to hone in on when you're designing out your features and functions. So if you find quite a few of these quick wins, start looking at those and getting them implemented pretty fast. So when you've got low value items that come out and they're low effort, these are your question marks, they're your maybes, the things that you may want to do, but may put them off onto the back burner. So they're the things you have to consider when defining those if they're going to be in the MVP. When you get along this sort of line here where you've got low value, so low return, low ROI, and then really a lot of effort to actually deliver, they're your avoidance. Please, focus in on staying away from those because they're just going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of money, and not deliver much value to your users. So we're all looking at value to users. So when we're doing this, what is the value to the user? What is the ROI to the actual product itself, to the business itself? What is this feature actually going to deliver us in the end to our MVP? And is it going to actually get us to the next step? So these are things that you want to be considering. And then what people coin are your big bets, where they're high value items and a lot of effort. So high value, high effort. Now these don't necessarily come out of your MVP. This could actually be your product. So your product could be, for example, an AI product that sifts through big data and it produces results where, for example, you might increase sales by 20%. So if that's your end goal, your end outcome, it's probably going to be a big bet item. So that's what product you're building. You're building a big bet item. But in essence of that product, you're going to have low value and quick wins within it, but your end goal is really one of these high value, high effort items. So depends on what you're building here. If you're building something that's more just adding value to customers, and it's not a complex piece of software, then your high value, high effort items can come off the MVP, but it really becomes a decision of what is the purpose of the MVP. If the purpose of the MVP is to deliver something in this realm, then you're really going to have to dig in, look for the budget, and look for the time, resource and allocation that's going to get you there. Otherwise, focusing on the ones that are probably in this sort of realm, more towards this sort of centric sort of area here. So focus on your quick wins, maybe tapping into a little of the high value items, touching a little bit on the maybes, probably staying a little bit out of there. So that's one of the areas that you might sort of tap into because you're sort of unknown. You're just estimating this when you're doing it. So yeah, there's some things to consider when you're looking at that previous video that I put together for the 80-20 rule. So if you're trying to find those 20% of features that may deliver you 80% of your value, look at your quick wins, venture into your big bets, into those complex parts, because some of those could be your product. So you might end up saying, all right, we've got 100 items on our list, one of them here in this sort of area is going to deliver the most value let's focus all the energy there. You might only deliver 10% of what you're looking for. That could be your MVP. But in time, you've probably spent 50% of resource. So it is a very subjective piece of work, this, but it gives you a different frame of reference to think about what your features look like and what the value is to your end product, to your end consumers, and to the business as a whole. So have a think about this next time you're looking at your features and feature sets. This is definitely something that we use in our business that guides us in terms of achieving the total outcome for a product. So definitely have a look at this and look at your value versus effort matrix. Thanks, guys.